Good afternoon, traders. It's AJ. I want to do something a little special on YouTube today for my YouTube followers, and of course for the great chat room that I trade in, which is called Awesomecalls Trading. Um, there's always that uh, you know, and I'm going to kind of talk to you from the heart a little bit, from my experience. Um, and you know, I think the big elephant in the room to me is, how does a day trader truly overcome losing? A big loss, not just necessarily a big loss, but maybe you're day trading and you're going along and you're doing really good, and all of a sudden you just get on this whole horrific streak, and it just seems like whatever you do, you're you're screwing up, and your mindset isn't there, and you want to be there. I mean, you get up and you make the effort, and you say, okay, today's the day. I'm gonna finally overcome what I've been doing, and yet you lose again, and then you lose again, and then you're in a room that you're watching everyone around you just boom, make money, boom, make money, boom, make money, and you're losing, or you got caught up in the hype, and then you're stuck in a hold, and then you drop 8 points, and then you're almost in tears. Your whole emotion changes you, and you can't kid yourself. I think the one thing that you have to realize when you take this profession on, when you take this business on, you know, the most important thing you have to realize as a day trader is that this is an emotional job. It is emotional. And what makes it emotional? What makes it emotional? Well, if you have an account and you built your savings, or you are taking an early retirement, or you have a 401k investment that's just not moving, and you want to take that money and try to double it in your mind, or or you received an inheritance, or you got a big line of credit and you want to use some of it for, on your equity, and you want to start day trading because you hear all these dreams and visions of people making thousands of dollars on the side, and you're like, I want to do that. So I'll take my line of credit, you know. When you become day trading, when you first start, your whole attitude is like, I want to do that. I can't wait to do that. I want to be that guy there. I want to be that girl there. I want to be that woman, I want to do what she's doing, and you're basically you're in the hype, and a lot of times day traders just aren't fortunate enough to be in the right environment to guide you, to protect you from, making the right decisions, whether you're going long or short, or, what platforms to use. You're just so caught up in the moment that you want to be like everyone else. But the problem is that when you first start, and unfortunately, if you're not in a room, especially a room of this caliber, and you're following just a newbie that just been trading for 3, 4 years, and he thinks he knows it all, and all of a sudden he wants to be your mentor, and then you lose, and then you lose, and you lose, and you're learning like a totally weird way of trading. You know, it, those first losses are really hard. It's a difficult thing to overcome. And it's always the elephant in the room because nobody wants to admit they're wrong. Nobody wants to admit, man, I'm a loser, or I lost. And the emotions start to kick in. And you just can't figure it out. Like, what am I doing wrong? Every single day I trade, I seem to not be able to win. What am I doing wrong? And you know what? When you really sit back and you want to analyze how to change that, how to overcome all of those anxieties as a day trader, right? The importance is, more than anything, is to allow yourself to learn. I know it sounds like, well, I don't want to learn, I want to make money, but you can't make money without learning, without educating. If anything, you need to self-educate yourself, you know? And this is the really important part of day trading, is the ability to, you know, you know, take what you learn daily. And if you're in a quality room that day trades all the time, and that's all they do, they put out quality ideas and opinions. This stock's going to do this, and you watch the stock do it. This is your opportunity to start asking questions. And more importantly, when you do mess up on a trade, you know, you need to be able to ask and share that trade with who you're in the room with. And this is really important. This is really helps you as a day trader to overcome, because once somebody can point things out to you from their perspective, you know. So let's just take an idea on our list today. Okay, let's just take an idea. So let's just take OCG for instance. This is a really weird play. It's at $6.10 yesterday. Okay, today it's gapping up to $18. It's up $18 a share. It's up 12, and it's up there, right? So you come in a chat room like this, and you're saying to yourself, okay, I want to play that trade, but I'm kind of curious. How is the moderator in one of the greatest chat rooms in the world? How is he going to trade it? What's he going to look for? Okay, now this is now let's just put the whole thing together, all right? And we'll take the good and the bad to it, all right? So here we go. So the way we took our OCG is we set the trade up. We see it right here, all right? OCG, and so it's a relatively new IPO that debuted in the fives. Yesterday it ran from 5 to 20. Today it gapped down and then ran all the way in pre-market to 24. Okay, so you see how it pulled and then gapped up in pre-market? Okay, this is a trade. This is a trade that Awesome Calls is going to take under its cap. We are going to trade that stock. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to trade it. It doesn't mean this is great for you, but for me, as a day trader trading 15 plus years in the business, this is an amazing setup. What makes it an amazing setup? Okay. What makes it an amazing setup is it's gapping up for no reason. So that means that it's being squeezed and shorts are being punked out, right? I mean, they are just getting squeezed. It means newbies and traders from all around are playing the activity on it and just pushing it up, and the market makers don't have a lot of stock available, so they just keep moving the stock up, up, up. It's like just a massive squeeze. All right. So this is a trade I want to trade. I want to be involved in that, because what it's telling me is, if I can sell off the stock at the opening, come down a little bit off its high horse, come down relatively to a nice point, and if it rips again, guess what? I can be part of that rip. So if I buy 500 shares, 100 shares, 1,000 shares, I can be part of a stock that could go from 17 to 21, and I can rip it. So I want to play 500 to 1,000 shares and let it rip and be a part of that. But before I can be a part of that, it's got to show me. And this is where clarity comes in. You cannot day trade unless the stock shows you what direction it wants to go. If you want to short it, or do you want to long it? I know it sounds simplistic, but if you realize why you lose every day as a day trader, it's because you have no clue. You keep guessing. Well, I think this should be the top. You know, I saw a day trader almost all day today on the way down on this stock. I said, OCG will go back down to 6 or 7. And all day today, I just saw the day traders stare at this. Is this the long? Is this the long? Should I go long here? Is this the long? Is this the bottom? Is this the long? Is this the over and over and over and over? And all I kept saying while I was in the room, it's a fade. There's no long. But the day trader sees it totally different, because the day traders knew, well, this has got to be, it's curling here. Oh my gosh, it's going to run again. Oh my gosh, no, calm down, right? This is where you make the mistakes, because you're new to the business. You don't understand it. The stock isn't showing you it wants to rip. So why are you buying it on the long side? What makes you convinced that, oh, this is it? Is your 3 months, 6 months, 1 year in the business telling you this is where to go? You haven't even learned enough how to walk yet in day trading. And yet you keep asking over and over and over, and you're not learning from the trend. Once the trend is set in and lower lows continue to come down, it is just a fade. And so at the end of the day, you should evaluate yourself and look at yourself and say, why did I ask that 50 times? If this was, I should understand how a stock is setting up. And it's an all-day fader. This is where a great short seller comes in and does 5,000 shares, 3,000 shares, and just lets it fade. Imagine taking 3,000 shares short at 17 and covering at 7. That's $30,000. 15,000 if you bought 5,000. 30,000 if you bought like what? If you took 5,000 shares, if you even took 2,000 shares at 17 and you covered 10 points, you make 20 grand. You know, instead of trying to find, oh, this has got to be it. I'm going to long it. I want to long it. I'm going to long it. I'm going to long it. And then you lose, you lose, you lose, you lose, you lose. It's a constant loss. So what I do whenever I come in, I've always got to look for that setup because I want you to see how it's set up here. Okay. You see how it curled around and didn't break out right here. See how it curled around and didn't break out. There's no trade there. I don't want to short it and I don't want to long it. You see how it curled around again? Right here. It didn't break out. I don't want to long it and I don't want to short it. Now all of a sudden I pop up here and I draw a line across right there. There's my long. Now it wants to long. Now it wants to play. So now I'm going to long the stock off the breakout. 16 a share. And I'm going to make $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 in 10 minutes of work because it showed me. I'm not scared. I'm not sweating. I see the move. It just needed to show me. So in pre-market, I'm watching this and I'm like, okay, so now I know how to set up the trade. When I see this again appear, I want to long the stock. I hope I get caught in a halt. I hope it pops and halts. That would be the ultimate because it would mean that the stock is on its way to rip. Okay, so I know the setup now. Now I have to write it down and relay it to the day trader and say, look, first day in the room, how would you play this stock? Okay, well, based on the information of the stock and how I'm looking at it, if the stock pops to 20 and clears that, we will go to 24. We'll definitely get 2 to 4 points on the upside and then top it off and then all day fader. Okay? Okay, so AJ, you're my mentor. You're saying that if it hits the 20 spot, I should be looking to long. And you're saying it should hit 24, 22, 24, even a little bit higher, and then watch for topping. So I can make 4 points on this trade. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So if I put 500 shares in, I can make 1,000 to 2,000. Right. Right. This is it. Okay. So now you play the setup. Now you come over here, knowing what you learned in pre-market on this chart. Now we're going to trade it. So now we come over here. All right. And now we wait for the setup. I want you to watch carefully. All right. So I came over here and I said, you see this topping here? I need it to break through here, 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 and here. So remember I kept saying the 20 spot? You buy the 20 spot, you will rip it 2 to 4. Now, I'm not going to buy it here, 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 here. Why am I buying it here? Why are you buying it here? You know, well, I want to get in early before it hits 20. Well, what if you're wrong? What if the stock pulls to 10 and you're in it here? You see, you're playing a stock and you're trying to outsmart the stock. Don't do that. Day trading isn't about outsmarting it because you'll never win if you think like that. You don't want to think I'm smart in the stock and I want to outsmart it. I think this is great. Just like if you're buying here and thinking it's going to go up. Oh, I think now it's like $10. I bet it's going to go back up. Oh, it goes down to 7. Oh, I think it'll go back up. You see? You're trying to outsmart the stock. The stock is just, it's not interested in your opinion. The stock is going to do what it's going to do. For me as a day trader, I've learned to relax and sit back and just say, let it show me. If it's not there, I won't take it. The opportunity isn't there, I won't take it. You need to say that over and over and over and over. Okay? So now the stock starts to rip. I get a halt, and then unhalt, and I pop, and there's the magic number, 20. Now, do I care that I missed from 15 to 20? Absolutely not, because I needed this pop, this halt, and this to get to my 20 spot. Once I hit the 20, I'm clearing all this, and I realize I can get the move now. So what do? All right, I come in there, and I go long the stock. I put 1,000 shares in, and I wait. It gets halted. The dream trade is now a reality. I'm in it. Now, is my anxiety that I'm going to lose on an upside halt, especially the second time? There's a 90% chance, in my opinion, that the stock is going to rip to higher the 22 to 24, which means my 1,000 shares at $20 is going to benefit me $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, depending on how I get out of the stock. Now I wait. It's halted. I get a market order in, ready to sell, and it pops. Okay, listen to me. You bought it at 20. It opened at 23. It pulled to 21 and popped again. The first thing you should be doing as a day trader is selling that pop. So many of you get greedy. I want it to go to 30. I want it to go to 40. I want it to do this. The stock doesn't care what you think. You are already up 500, 800, $1,000, $2,000. What are you thinking? Where is your attitude? Where is your, you know, like, what's the word I'm looking for? What are you thinking? Are you trying to hit the home run attitude now? Oh, this guy on Twitter said it go to 50. What are you doing? You're up. You weren't up. You're up. And now it rips and you sell into it and you're done. Now, here comes the chasers. Here comes the newbies. Here comes the people that just like want to be part of it. All right. And then they realize, you know, and they're buying it up here. Why are you buying it up here? Why? You missed the move. Where's your self-control? Why are you doing that? You need to step back as a day trader and go, I missed it. Son of a goodness. Darn it. It's over. You missed it. It hit the 24 and everyone should be out. Well, AJ, could it go into 30? It could, but that's not what we're doing here. We're playing what is realistic. And if you bought it when the signal was there and it ripped 2 or 3 points, you're done. Now let's just say you bought it and all of a sudden it pulls and pulls. All right, this is where another newbie gets into trouble. Well, maybe to curl. Okay, stocks don't do maybe. And now you're down 500, 1,000, 2,000. What are you waiting for? What are you doing? Are you adding? What are you looking at? The trade is done. Why are you allowing the stock to pull 3 or 4 points? Why are you watching your account go to zero? Okay? Discipline. You missed the move? Oh well. AJ, do you think it could go again? If it curls around at 25, I'm interested in playing. If it doesn't, I'm not interested. You need to start to be disciplined in it over and over. Now, let's just say you took the loss. You did it wrong. You're not stupid. You're not stupid. You're not a stupid trader, right? But you seem to be doing the same thing you keep doing every day as a day trader, chasing a deer in headlights, fear of missing out. And now you take a loss. And you know what? Now you blame yourself. And you won't trade for the rest of the day because you're down 600, 800, 1,000. I need help. I need help. Okay. How can I really help you? I helped you to right here. What you should be doing is saying, is it too late to get in? I like to play this. I missed it. I could sit there in 2 seconds. Don't touch it. Leave it alone. This is not for you. It takes me 2 seconds to make sure that I could tell you I wouldn't touch it to prevent that loss. So now you have the loss. What do? You lost $1,800 today, and you watched everyone else, including the guy in the room, make thousands of dollars. What do? How do you overcome that? Simple. You sit there and you take a snapshot where you lost. You take a snapshot where you entered. You take a snapshot of the notes, and you play that over your head over and over. Okay, the guy said to come along at the 20 area, it would pop to 24. So why was I taking the stock at 24.50? What made me do it? See, you need to ask yourself that question first. Why did you do that? What made you want to do that? And you know what your answer is? Well, it ran and it popped, so I figured, you figured? There's your first mistake. And I figured that it would run to 30. Okay, you figured wrong. The most important thing when you're a day trader is to acknowledge your mistake. Don't point fingers, all right? Just acknowledge the mistake and look at it. This is how I had to overcome when I kept taking losses every day. I kept studying the chart and saying, why do I keep doing it? And the first thing I realized more than anything in the world was I didn't understand the move. That was the first thing. I didn't understand the move. And I can't teach somebody if I don't understand the move myself, right? You can't teach someone. You can't be a mentor to someone. You can't say, well, I think it could go. We don't trade with I think words. Maybe, worth watching, I think. We don't do that in here. It's either going to rip and go or it's not. Okay? The other thing you need to look at, more importantly, is, you know, and you got to really say this to yourself. Okay? All right? You got to say this to yourself. You got to be disciplined. I know it's a strong word, but you're losing every day because you're not disciplined. Because your fear of missing out makes you want to take the trade and you keep losing. What you need to do is stop. If you're in a room and you admire the guy that's helping to become the best trader, ask him a simple question. Is it too late to long here? Yes, you missed it. Now, don't feel bad about that. Because you know what? In the stock market world we are in, there are so many opportunities. You're going to get another shot, but this time you'll be more disciplined and ready. Right? The most important thing is when you lose and you lose and you lose, you need to take that night and just study and stare at the chart, stare at the notes, and ask yourself, why did I mess up? You need to figure that out first. Right? If you don't do that, you come the next day, well, I'll make it up the next day. Oh, I'll get a will, I'll home run tomorrow. I'll double my money. Stop doing that. You didn't even make any money today. How are you going to double your money tomorrow? Oh, I lost 1,000. Tomorrow I'll get 2,000. Okay. Again, why don't you make 500 bucks? Because the minute you start putting unrealistic goals in front of you that you haven't done consistently, you're already going to lose. You're already lost because you're not being true to yourself as a day trader. If you calm down and get off your high horse and say to yourself, I'd like to make $500. That's realistic for me. I know I can do it. Then make $500 and stick with plays that can give you that. Okay? I need to make $300. I need to make $250. Okay, I'm not there at this person's level. I'm not there at AJ's. I'm not there at Dark Sides. I'm not there at Janny's. I'm not there at Zach's. Okay? Because you don't need to be there. You need to be what satisfies you and your family. Nobody wants you walking the house grumpy and mad and yelling at people. Because why? Because you're not taking, and when you're a day trader, it's so emotional. Why? What makes it emotional? It's real money. It's money you worked hard for. You're looking at your family around the table, and everyone's depending on you to take care of them. Okay? There's no time for you to lose. So when you start losing and you're doing losing over and over, stop. Switch to paper. You need to do that, right? Figure out your mistakes. Ask questions. Jot down where your errors are. If you're an annual member and you upgrade from monthly to annual, guess what? You get to talk to me. We can sit for an hour or so and talk about what you're doing wrong and help you. We can spend more time because you're committed. You know, when I used to lose for years. I would watch the moderator make money every single day, and I couldn't figure it out. Even if I copied his trades, I lose. And do you want to know what it came down to? The moderator wasn't teaching me anything. He wasn't teaching me what the most important thing was. The why. Why is he taking it short? Why is he taking it long? And that's the problem of today. In today's society, so many rooms do not discuss in detail why a stock's going to pop, why it's going to sell off, why it's a short, why it's a long. They don't. You know why? Because they don't know themselves. The first question you should always ask yourself when executing a trade is why. Why is this in play? Why are we playing this today, AJ? Well, the stock is up 15 points, which tells me it looks like it can run again. If it shows me it wants to, I want to play that play. Now I want you to take one to a different level, WNW. Okay? Now this was a big warning stock, right? Another IPO that went from $10 to 105. That is insane. Who wants to play that? You know, typically, and you can ask anybody who's been with me in the room for years, I would shy away from plays like that. I would, right? So you know why? Because I haven't traded them enough to understand them. So what I did is I would paper trade these type of plays. I would sit back and flip my real money to paper. And over the years, I would play those to figure out exactly how to play it. Now, when you're paper trading, it's not going to be as accurate as you think because you're feeling just on whatever. When it's real money, your feels are a little bit different. Okay. All right. And because you're doing different routes. All right. So it is a little bit different, but not too much. But it allows you to, you know, to handle your control and your emotions. So did you see today how I played this? 100 shares. I wasn't I wasn't thinking I'm going to make 500 shares, because why? Because the spread's for 3 points and the thing can drop 5 to 10. What does that mean on 500 shares? That means that the stock can come down $2,500 to 5,000 if I do 500 shares. All right. So if I'm going to trade this trade, I'm going to be willing to risk 100 shares or 500 to $1,000. I'm going to allow myself 5 to 10 points. If I lose 1,000, I know I can go make that money back because I know who I am. But if I'm going to put this stock in this room for others to take advantage of, right? I want to put the warning out. You do not trade with size. The stock will automatically move 5, 10, 20, 30 points in your face. You don't need to worry about size. 50 shares, 20 points is $1,000. Do you realize that? 50 shares, 20 points is $1,000. Right? So if it dropped 5, you can handle a 250 loss. So there's no excuse. After the trade was done, people went, well, I didn't have enough in my account. You know what? You're making excuses. On trades like this, for you to learn and to overcome, that's what paper trading's for. It's okay to flip the paper, to learn it. But for me, I don't need to trade the paper. You know, I just need now to execute what I've learned. And I'm comfortable if this stock starts to break out through 65, I know it's going to run. How do I know that? All right. Watch the setup yesterday. This is yesterday's setup. You see how it halted, right? It was so thin. Okay, this I stay away from, and so should you. This is not trading. This is your guessing. You're guessing from $10 to $50. And it's all a guess. And you can end up getting wiped out on that stuff. Now, you see here, this is consolidation. This is pure consolidation. Okay. I want to play off a consolidation. So I want to get through here, this support area, and break through. This is support, 37, 36.50, and this is breakthrough, 46. I break through 46. I want to play that stock because it's already shown me that this thing can move $5, $10, $20 a share. I'm ready now. So if it breaks through 46, I'm long 100 shares. What's my risk? 5, 6 points. That tells me how many shares I should play with. All of a sudden now I'm at 40, what? I'm at 48 and it rips all the way to 62. I just made on 100 shares, $800 to $1,000 to $1,500. Do I need to trade anymore? No, I'm done. The stock showed me. You see how it showed you? It didn't show you here to play, right? There's no trade here. It showed you consolidation. This is the stuff you need to look for. This is what's going to make you a great day trader. Somebody who's consistent, somebody who can sit there and make money every single day. Wait for it. Don't rush it. Wait for it. Consolidation. AJ, where would you long? 46.50, 47. Break through this support. Okay, AJ. Bam. Here's the support. There you go. There's your long. Rip. You're done for the year because you waited for it. So that was yesterday. So a lot of us missed this yesterday, right? I know I did, right? But what I did last night is I studied the chart. A lot of you don't do this. You just go to bed, you go to sleep, you watch TV. Not me. I wanted to study this move. And I studied it for about 10 minutes. I looked at the chart, and I studied it, and I broke it down. And now I understood the stock. So today I wanted to play it. It was I told myself, if this thing gaps up or gaps down, I want to play it today. So today, I want you to see what it did. Look carefully how I knew this was going to play today. So I come over here, and what do you see? You closed here at 81. What do you see? Right? You closed at the end of the day right here. You closed at 67 a share, right? Right there. What do you see? Right? What I see is it closed at 67 and it's sitting here at 99. 67, 99. And after hours, it went from 67 to 106. And I'm already gapping up. So this told me, oh my goodness, it wants to play again. I'm so excited. It's up 40, 50 points, right? And then it started to sell off and then it came down. So I told myself, you know what? If this breaks through this support level right here, you see this support level right here? If I can get through that at 65 a share, I want to trade the stock. I need to get through that support. You see it? I told myself. Now, I could have said go at 74, but I knew this stock because I took the time to study it for all of you. I did this for you. I knew I was going to play it if it gapped up because I did my homework. And all it takes is a few minutes to research the stock, to understand the play. So today I thought, you know what? I want to give it early to you guys, all of you, the opportunity. Because once this thing goes and we hit through 65, we're going to 100. So I got 40 points to play. All I needed to do was it to show me. So I set it up for all of you in the chat room right here. WNW. For you to play this stock today, you need to clear 65. When you clear 65, you will get a 20 point or more to the upside based on the homework research I did yesterday. If this snaps to 50.55, you have to wait for the bottom curl. If it did that. Otherwise, just when it clears 65, you're going to get 10 to 20 points. So knowing that, I wanted to play with 100 shares. I just needed 65. So look what happened. Ding, 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 ding. There's the 65. I'm long. My first rip, it's already up 10 points. Second rip, I'm already up 24 points. Third rip, do you see that? Because it showed me. Okay. Now, once you're up over 100, should you be playing it? Not necessarily, right? Why are you chasing it here? Why? This is a question I always ask day traders. What makes the stock more attractive at 110 than 60? What is it in your mind that says, well, it looks better here than it did here when you started 45 points ago? Why do you do that? Sometimes you just need to step back and just shake your head and go, wow, that was a missed opportunity. This will avoid you from chasing, trying to be a part of something that you were too late in. Yeah. Would I have taken it at 120? Absolutely not. And I'm a seasoned trader. I don't care if it went 40 more points. I don't care. It's already up 50 points. It's enough. I'm not thinking home runs, traders. So you need to be disciplined and say to yourself, you know what? I missed it. If you can start backing, going through your emotions during the day as a trader, stop chasing. Wait for the setup. Wait for it to show you. Let the stock show you. I'm going to really implement this in 2021 trading season in this room. If it's not there, it's not there. And I will keep showing you the breakouts. Don't do this. Don't do that. It's not ready. Like this Roku today. How many times was I asked over and over and over and over? Is this a long here? Is this a long here? Is this a long here? Is this a long? No, it's a downtrend. It's not breaking out. Why do you keep thinking? Well, it curled here. Well, it looks like it's basing. Okay, again, how long have you been trading? All right, maybe a couple of years. Now you found us, and maybe inside your mind you don't want to hear it's not ready because your mind has sold you. It's ready. This is a curl here. What are you doing? Can't you see it? I see it. Okay, calm down. Calm down. This is a short trend. There are more sellers than buyers. Okay? You see right here in the morning? That's a short squeeze. That's all that is. Right? Why is this going to come down? Well, the news was good, but this is, look, traders, over and over have you learned that these gaps get filled. They get filled. This is what you call a fat finger. If you've never seen one before, that's called a fat finger. The stock didn't sell off all the way to there. It's just a quick back finger right back up. That's all that is. But here, whenever you see stocks that make just big rips, right, those technically get gap filled. So I always like to look at least half the gap, like 330, 335, 330. I'm not thinking full gap fill. It would be nice, but I'm looking at least fill half the gap, right? So this morning, that's all I did. I set it up and I said, you know what? If this clears 346, which if you see, right? You see this area right here? See that? That's support. This is support. This is breakout. Support, breakout. Support, breakout. Support, breakout. Where do I long it, AJ? 346. Why? That's the breakout. If it can get through that, we get a rip to 350. So you're only going to get 4 or 5 points. That's it. AJ, why does this go to 375? Well, why would it? I don't know. Because isn't the news great? Relax. The news is good. But we're going to gap fill this today. We're not running this stock. 350 is the max as far as I'm concerned. It's already made. Because see, what a lot of you forget, the stock is at 350, right? Well, yesterday it was at 325. This 25-point market cap bump, that's huge. That's huge. So now will it get back up there eventually? Probably so. But right now for today, this is a short to fill the gap. Profit taking. Then we do a bottom curl and then move to the upside. That's how stocks work. So to me, this was a short at 350 to 335. I figured it'd cover half of that and ended up full gap fill. This should be a lesson to you now. This should be a lesson. All the times all of you kept asking, is this a long? Study the chart. So the next time this happens, you know how to react and you're not chasing it over and over and over. Okay? I'm telling you, one of the reasons why I do 12 ideas. You ever wonder why I do that? There's a lot of reasons. One, a lot of you have different size accounts, so everyone can't trade the same thing. So I got to give you the $6, the $5, the 10, the 50, the 60, the 90, the 200s, the 300s, the $1,000 stocks. So all of you have opportunities, right? But I also do this so at the end of the day, you have homework for yourself. Okay, Mar, he said, would do this. OCG said he would do this. SCP would do it. Rad said he would do this. He said this would FDA approval would sell off. He said this FDA approval would sell off on a 3-point gap up. How does he know that? And look at it. MDRX. What is it? What is it? I'm sorry, what is it? MGNX. What did it do today? MGNX sold off all day long. Study that. Do you know how much money all of you could have made on that? On a small $27 stock? 300 shares, you could have banked 1,500 with 6,000 buying power. Why? Because you're in a room that can tell you where the stock is going to go before it even trades. Take advantage of that. And if you don't understand it, have the person explain it to you. So the next time you see an opportunity like that, you can get in there with 500 shares. You're not playing all these really crazy stocks. You're not in the Teslas and the Rokus and the Netflixes. You're in a comfortable, easy trade with 300 shares, and you're walking it with me. AJ, is this going on? Is this a curl? No, sir. No, it's going to break here. Once you snap here, what I would do is I would cover, and then or move your stops down to here since you're shorting here. Move them down. If it gets through 26.50, I'd get out. But I don't think it will. It'll probably snap, consolidate, and break. And see how heavy the stock got right here? This is called heavy. See how it pulls, consolidates? Now look at the heavy. You see how it's teetering? You see that? That's heavy. That means the stock is going to yank at any moment. It's like a cliff dive. Remember, like you're walking on the rocks? This is a guy walking on the rocks, and then he's going to dive. Bam! This is one of the first charts I learned as a day trader. Oh, that's a cliff dive coming. I called it a cliff dive, right? But you see how it's a slope? That's a bad sign. There's no long here. It's done. This stock is done. And look what happened. Bam. Just fell off a cliff. This is why we can make calls like this every day. Because why? Because AJ has studied his life, his butt off for all these years so you can benefit from that. All right? Just remember everything I'm saying, traders. You have the opportunity to become an amazing day trader. Somebody can make a true living doing this. But you got to walk before you run, especially in here. Ask questions. When you make a mistake, pull me aside. DM me. I would never embarrass you. I'm never going to call you stupid. I just want to go over what you did wrong and show you sincerely, don't do that. You know what you did wrong? I'll explain it to you. Make notes of it. Record my voice. Whatever makes you feel comfortable. But don't forget when you make a mistake what you did so you don't repeat it over and over and over again. That will change you from becoming a loser to a winner. Okay? All right. That is today's 1 hour webinar I think I took. 45 minutes. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.